Hello and welcome to day 2 of the 30 Day to a New You program. On day 1 you will have downloaded the workbook, and in that workbook are questions that we're going to be asking you every single day, and then some other questions that's going to move you through this 30 days. So in day 1 we talked about gratitude, and yes, each and every day I want you to think about 3 things and write them down, knowing what you can be grateful for. And this is going to go into your subconscious mind so that your mind will start to focus on more of those things that you're grateful for, and it's a daily activity. However, today we're going to talk about words. I'm going to enlighten you about how your language and the words that you use have a massive effect on the way in which you run your life. You see, words are very powerful. Their meaning crystallizes your perceptions. They shape your beliefs, and they drive your behaviours and your responses in such a way that you then act out. So ultimately, they are shaping your world as it is. Now, the power of words arise in you an emotional response, and your response will determine your behaviour as an outcome as you make meaning of those words. Here's an example. What would happen if you went down to a beach in Australia and stood at the water's edge and shouted, "There's a shark!" What you would instill in people, and what would happen, is that they would respond in panic, fear and terror at the mere thought of it. Their bodies would respond to that. Their fear would elevate. People would be screaming, and rightly so. But all words have an energetic reaction on you, and they are so powerful that we can use them as a tool to uplift us rather than put us down. We can uplift our personal energy when we choose them wisely, and we can improve our lives. The problem is that we're not really consciously aware of the words that we speak. We get into a habit of a certain dialogue, and we expose ourselves to negativity by using these words. So when you're feeling down, what we can do is reframe a situation by using different words that will raise our spirits so that we can have a new and renewed perspective. And our words then can create a more positive outcome. And these words carry energy, and this energy penetrates into your very being, into the cells of your body, your DNA. Your cells carry memory. And when you say these words, they are carrying that with them. So it stands to reason that we have a much better chance of changing our lives for the better by bringing good words into our life, rather than bitterly repeating those same old mistakes over and over again. Have you ever spent time with somebody who's just a chronic moaner or complainer, who no matter when you say to look at the bright side, they find the negative in it? And do you notice how that person seems to suck all the energy? You can feel it literally sometimes just draining away from you. And that's because their words have that effect on you. You're going through them and repeating them in your head. So it's important to choose your friends and your words wisely. Now, the way in which we learn is by repetition. So it's a repetition tool to imprint something on our minds and keep it in our language. So we find ourselves sometimes repeating things like, "Oh, I'm so stupid," or "I'm useless," or "I don't think that I'm good enough," or "I only have to look at a piece of cake and I put weight on." And your mind and body will respond to that as an instruction. So when you see a piece of cake, your mind will go, "Hey, we just saw a cake, better put some kilos on." So I'm asking you to learn to be your own best friend, to ask yourself and become conscious of those words that you're saying. Because let's face it, you wouldn't use some of the things that you're saying to a friend or say something out loud. You wouldn't tell somebody that they were ugly or stupid or fat. Then why say it to yourself? Have you ever had someone make a berating statement and then you've tried to better it? Or someone has said, "Oh, you look lovely in that," and you decide to say, "Oh, this old thing." I want you to start accepting compliments and words of gratitude. You know, some of us use negative words over and over again out of habit, and we forget how to be positive. we forget how to accept something really good about ourselves from someone else. And as we speak and read and utter a word or phrase, it has power over you. And your mind doesn't distinguish between right or wrong, good or bad, positive, negative. It just simply says, yes. So if you say, I'm fat, your body and mind will say, yes. And your brain, using repetition, will start searching for patterns of consistency and making sense of that world that you're living in with those words. And you're not fully conscious of how you're exposing yourself to that negativity. And be assured of this, that your words will become your truth and they will triumph every time. So consider now, how many times do you berate yourself, called yourself untalented, stupid, not enough, can't do anything? And begin to understand how your internal vocabulary has shaped this false image of who you are. If you're suffering from self-esteem or a lack of confidence, then is it any wonder? So I'm going to give you some rules to making your life work for you better by the use of your words. So number 1 is start using words that are positive and will benefit you. Number 2, no more name calling or self-criticism. It's important to become your own best friend and to have some empathy and compassion to yourself, just like you would if it was someone else. Remember, everybody is doing the best that they can in any given moment of time under certain circumstances. And it's important that you become consciously aware of that, because this also includes you. 3, stop all self-depreciation. Never make your body or something that you have accomplished in your life less than what it is. And never ever be the butt of a joke, not even your own joke. Words have power. Remembering that words have power and that they don't distinguish between right or wrong, good or bad, that they're only saying yes. Just be mindful and conscious of what you are saying yes to. Number 4 is resist gossiping or speaking ill of anyone else. If you haven't something good to say or positive to say about anyone else or yourself, then please do not say it. Number 5, go on a negativity fast. Instead of saying something like, oh, I had a terrible meal, it was absolutely disgusting, and building all the drama in it, basically say, I've had better meals. And what you've done is that you've said what you wanted, but without that negative energy and drama around it. In fact, you've even been more positive towards it. Number 6, boost positive energy words. Instead of saying something was okay or that you had a good time, ramp up those energy words. Say, you know what, it was terrific. I had a fabulous time. It was fantastic. Speak words that get you enthusiastic. These words will make you feel so much better, and they will generate a bigger energetic response in your body, and you will enjoy it more. Number 7, if you have negative people in your circle of friends, limit the amount of time you spend with them. Number 8, surround yourself with positive, uplifting words and people. Use positive affirmations on sticky notes around your home or your office or in the car. Say wonderful things about you, your friends, your family, your goals, even the clothes you wear. Sometimes people wear t-shirts or an article of clothing with a statement on it. Make sure that it's a positive statement that people will agree to, so that you are walking around generating a positive energy about something all day long. And as you keep doing these things, and as you start to use the power of repetition in this highly effective way for you and your benefit, then you have the power to begin to change your world, and you will begin to use words more consciously. And doing this is one of the quickest ways to shift your energy and bring joy and happiness and positive things into your life. Now what I'm going to do is also put a fascinating experiment that was done with the effects of words on water by a famous scientist. You may have seen it or read it or heard about it before. But I want you to also watch this when you get time. I want you to remember that the effects of your words are carrying that message within you and will have a positive effect on your outcomes. Decide what you want to choose in your world, because when you change your words, you will change your life.